Hello, and welcome back. Take a moment to settle. You don't need to do anything with what you hear over the next few minutes. You can just let it land. Hypervigilance often doesn't feel dramatic from the inside. It feels practical, necessary, sensible. It feels like staying switched on in a world that has taught you, quietly and repeatedly, that attention is safety. You may not experience this as anxiety. You may experience it as readiness, awareness, an ability to read rooms quickly, notice shifts in tone, sense what's coming before it arrives. Other people may even admire this about you. They might call you perceptive, intuitive, emotionally intelligent. Your body knows it as something else. Hypervigilance is a state of constant orientation toward potential threat. Not always danger in the obvious sense. More often, it's disruption, disapproval, emotional unpredictability, loss of control. The nervous system stays lightly braced, prepared to respond before something lands too hard. This state often forms early. The body learns that staying alert prevents worse outcomes. It learns to track microsignals, moods, atmospheres. Over time, this readiness becomes normal. The absence of vigilance can feel strange, even unsafe, because the system has grown accustomed to being engaged at all times. You may notice this in small ways. Your attention moves outward more than inward. Silence feels loaded rather than neutral. Rest carries a faint edge of unease. Relaxation requires permission rather than arising naturally. None of this means something is wrong with you. It reflects a system that adapted intelligently to its environment. Hypervigilance keeps energy extended. Attention rarely settles fully into the body. Breath stays slightly elevated. Muscles hold a low-level tone, just enough to respond quickly if needed. This readiness consumes energy quietly over long periods of time. Spiritually and energetically, hypervigilance often shows up as sensitivity without containment. You feel a lot, you notice a lot. Your system absorbs more than it releases. The field around you stays active, responsive, tuned outward. This is why hypervigilant people often feel tired without knowing why. Psychologically, hypervigilance shapes identity. You may come to see yourself as the one who notices, the one who anticipates, the one who stays steady when others don't. These roles offer purpose. They also keep the system engaged even when rest is available. The body doesn't question this arrangement until it begins to cost more than it gives. When hypervigilance softens, it rarely happens all at once. The system tests safety gradually. Attention returns inward in brief moments. Breath drops unexpectedly. Muscles release, then re-engage. Rest arrives in fragments. This can feel disorienting. The absence of constant scanning may be mistaken for emptiness or vulnerability. The body is learning a new baseline, one that doesn't rely on anticipation to remain intact. Dreams often reflect this recalibration. You may notice themes of watching without urgency, standing guard without tension, being present in situations that once demanded action. The psyche is rehearsing a different relationship to awareness. Healing hypervigilance isn't about losing sensitivity. It's about restoring choice. Choice in where attention rests. Choice in when response is required. Choice in how much energy leaves the center. As regulation deepens, awareness remains. It simply no longer carries the same charge. You still notice. You just don't have to mobilize around every signal. The body learns that presence doesn't require constant readiness. Over time, a quieter form of alertness emerges, one that feels grounded rather than braced. Attention becomes available without being strained. Sensitivity remains, supported by containment rather than effort. This shift often changes relationships. You may speak less, react less, explain less, not because you care less, but because your system no longer needs to manage the field around you in order to feel secure. Hypervigilance doesn't ease through understanding alone. It softens through repeated experiences of safety that don't require performance, through moments when nothing goes wrong when you soften, through learning slowly that awareness can rest without collapsing. When that trust begins to form, the world feels quieter, not emptier, more.